Stop living as a manager of your circumstances and start being the creator of your destiny. Most of you are waiting for a sign or the right time to feel powerful, but power isn't a gift. It's a state of mind you demand right now. In the next few minutes, we are going to shatter the stories holding you back and unlock the giant that's been sleeping inside you. The power state is the fundamental realization that your performance, your mood, and your ability to succeed are not products of your environment, but products of your internal chemistry and psychology in any given second. Most people are living their lives on autopilot, drifting through the day and reacting to whatever happens to them. If the coffee is cold, their state drops. If someone cuts them off in traffic, their state drops. They are at the mercy of the outside world, waiting for the world to give them permission to feel powerful. But the truth is, your inner power is not a treasure chest buried deep in the ground that you have to spend years digging up. It is a neurological switch that you can flip the moment you decide to take command of your physical being. When we talk about state, we are talking about the biological radiator of your life. If you are slouching, breathing shallowly, and looking at the floor, you are literally signaling to your brain to produce cortisol and keep you in a state of limitation. You cannot solve a problem with the same level of energy that created it. To unlock your power, you must first demand a radical shift in your physiology. You have to move with speed, breathe with intention, and use your body as a tool of authority. Think about it. When you feel like you've just won, how do you stand? How do you speak? Your voice has a different resonance. Your shoulders are back. Your eyes are locked on the target. You don't wait to feel that way to act. You act that way so that you feel it. This is the science of peak performance. By changing the way you move, you change the way you think. When you are in a low state, even the smallest task feels like a mountain. But when you are in a peak state, those same mountains look like pebbles. This isn't about positive thinking or pretending things are great when they aren't. It's about mental and physical discipline. It's about being the architect of your own energy. If you want to change your results, you must first change your state, because your state dictates your behavior and your behavior dictates your destiny. You have the ability right now to interrupt the pattern of hesitation and fear by simply changing the physical demands you make on your own body. You are the only one with the remote control to your internal state, and once you realize that, you stop being a victim of your circumstances and start being the master of your results. Focus is the steering wheel of your life. Where focus goes, energy flows. Most people are wandering through their existence with their focus scattered across 1,000 different distractions, worrying about things they cannot control, obsessing over what might go wrong, or replaying the failures of the past like a broken record. If you focus on what's missing in your life, you will feel empty, no matter how much you actually have. If you focus on what you can't control, you will feel overwhelmed and paralyzed. Your inner power is directly tied to the mental pictures you paint and the questions you ask yourself every single minute of every single day. You see, the brain is like a high-powered search engine. If you ask it a lousy question like, why does this always happen to me? Or why am I not good enough? Your brain is biologically obligated to find an answer, even if it has to make one up. It will find reasons why you're a failure, why the world is against you, and why you should just give up. But if you change that focus, if you demand a better answer by asking a better question like, how can I use this? Or what is great about this situation that I'm not seeing yet? You immediately shift your neurochemistry. You begin to see patterns of opportunity where others only see walls of despair. This isn't just positive thinking. This is about the reticular activating system, that part of your brain that filters out the noise and shows you what you've decided is important. If you decide to focus on your mission, your brain will literally start highlighting the tools, the people, and the ideas you need to get there. You have to realize that most of your pain isn't coming from your reality, it's coming from your focus. You are focusing on the giant in front of you instead of the slingshot in your hand. To unlock your power, you must become the master of your attention. You must guard the door of your mind and refuse to let the weeds of doubt take root. You have to consciously choose to focus on your strengths, your goals, and the massive action required to move the needle. When you narrow your focus down to a laser beam, you can burn through any obstacle. You stop being a manager of circumstances and start being a creator of results. Your focus is the bridge between the invisible world of your desires and the visible world of your achievements. By directing your mental spotlight toward what is possible and what is within your power to change, you transform your entire experience of reality. You become the commander of your own perception, and in doing so, you become the commander of your destiny. The language you use is the fundamental architecture of your reality. It is the invisible thread that weaves together your emotions, your identity, and your ultimate destiny. Most people are completely unaware that the words they speak, and more importantly, the words they whisper to themselves in the quiet of their own minds, are actually building the prison or the palace they live in. If you describe your life using a vocabulary of limitation, you will feel limited. If you tell yourself you are struggling, exhausted, or overwhelmed, you are literally giving your nervous system a command to produce the feelings associated with those labels. You are taking a temporary experience and turning it into a permanent identity through the power of your declarations. Your inner power is locked behind the gate of your own linguistics, and if you want to unlock it, you must change the labels you use to define your world. Think about the difference between saying, I'm failing at this, and I'm in the process of learning this. One shuts down your brain and triggers a state of paralysis, while the other opens up a window of curiosity and growth. Language is not just a way to describe how you feel, it is the primary tool you use to create how you feel. When you use transformational vocabulary, you lower the intensity of negative emotions and amplify the power of positive ones. Instead of saying you are furious, what if you said you were a little bit annoyed? The physical sensation in your body would instantly change because your brain is trying to match the labels you provide. On the flip side, if you find something good, why not call it spectacular, unbelievable, or magnificent? By upgrading your language, you upgrade your life's emotional palette. You have to realize that the questions you ask yourself are also a form of language that directs your focus. If you ask, why does this always happen? You are using language to search for excuses. If you ask, what is the gift in this? You are using language to find power. Your words are the seeds of your conviction. When you speak with absolute certainty, when you use incantations that align your body and your voice with your highest goals, you create a new psychological blueprint. You begin to reprogram your subconscious mind to see yourself not as a victim of your past, but as the creator of your future. Your inner power is waiting for you to give it a name, to speak it into existence, and to command it with a vocabulary that reflects the giant that lives inside of you. The power of decision is the ultimate spark that transforms a mere interest in change into an absolute unshakable reality. Most people live in a state of should. I should lose weight, I should start that business, I should be a better partner. But should is a recipe for a life of regret. A true decision is not a preference. It is not a wish or a hope. The word decision comes from the Latin root decision, which literally means to cut off. When you make a real decision, you cut off any other possibility except the one you have committed to. You kill the plan B that has been keeping you safe and mediocre. You realize that your destiny is not shaped by your conditions, but by your decisions. It doesn't matter where you started, what your parents did, or how many times you've fallen down in the past. In one heartbeat, in one moment of absolute certainty, you can decide that enough is enough and set a new standard for your life. This is the moment where your shoulds become musts. When something becomes a must, you find a way. If there is no way, you make the way. The reason most people never unlock their inner power is that they are waiting for the how before they commit to the what. They want a guarantee. They want to see the whole staircase before they take the first step. But power doesn't come from knowing the path. It comes from deciding to take the path regardless of the obstacles. You have to understand that a real decision is followed by immediate massive action. If you say you've decided but you haven't taken a physical step toward that goal in the next few minutes, you haven't truly decided. You've just had a pleasant thought. Your inner power is fueled by the momentum that only a decision can provide. It is the fire that burns through hesitation and the light that kills fear. When you make a decision, you are claiming your authority as the creator of your own experience. You are announcing to the universe and to yourself that you are no longer a manager of circumstances, but a force of nature. Every great achievement in human history began with a single person making a decision they refused to take back. That same power is sitting inside of you right now, dormant and waiting. It doesn't require years of therapy or $1 million in the bank. It only requires the courage to draw a line in the sand and say, this is who I am and this is how I will live from this day forward.